This song is a classic American song for a couple of reasons. Here's one. The Battle of New Orleans, right? I have a very good friend that told me she remembers learning about the Battle of New Orleans in school. She's American. And she didn't remember sort of much else about that war. That war is known in Canada as the War of 1812. And funny because the Battle of New Orleans was a great victory for the Americans. But the Americans lost that war. So this is a triumphant song about winning a battle in a war that the Americans eventually lost. I am from Quebec, which is in Canada, and they were trying to invade Canada, which is not nice, guys. But Canada at that point was still with the British, and you know, Canada didn't have so much of an army, but the British did. And the Americans apparently were very surprised when Canadian farmers were like joining the British army to fight against them. They sort of, it was said, I wonder if it was Jackson, somebody at the time said, an American hero, who would have thought, said that invading Canada would be simply a matter of marching. Look it up. It's true. And it wasn't in the end because the Americans lost the war because Canadians, who at that point were, you know, Confederacy, the Confederation hadn't happened yet, you know, but who later became Canadians, loyalists, the people living north of the border, for some strange reason, who could fathom why they just wanted to farm and be left in peace? Big surprise. But the Battle of New Orleans was a great victory, I hear, for the Americans. In 1814, we took a little trip. The chords are A, D, and then later on there's an A, E, A. I do that so I can remember them too. In 1814, we took a little trip, along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans, and we met the bloody British near the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept a-comin'. There wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they commenced to run, way down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. It's low. Well, I'd seen Morris Jackson a-walking down the street, a-talking to a pirate by the name of Jan Lafitte. He gave Jan a drink that he'd brung from Tennessee, and the pirate said he'd help us drive the British in the sea. Well, the French told Andrew, boy, you better run, 'cause Pakenham's a-comin' with a bullet in his gun. Old Hickory said he didn't give a damn. He's gonna whip the britches off of Colonel Pakenham. We fired our guns and the British kept a-comin'. There wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they commenced to run, on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We looked down the river and we see the British come. There must have been 100 of them beating on the drum. They stepped so high and they made their bugles ring. We stood beside our cotton bales and didn't say a thing. Old Hickory said we could take 'em by surprise if we didn't fire a musket till we looked 'em in the eyes. We held our fire till we seed their faces well. Then we opened up our squirrel guns and really gave 'em hell. We fired our guns and the British kept a-comin'. There wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they commenced to run, on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, they ran through the briars, and they ran through the brambles, and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. They ran so fast that our hounds couldn't catch them, on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. They lost their pants and their pretty shiny coats, and their tails were a-showing like a bunch of billy goats. They ran down the river till their tongues were hanging out, and they said they got a licking, which there wasn't any doubt. We went back to town in our dirty ragged pants. We danced all night with them pretty girls from France. Oh, that's not okay. I couldn't understand them, but they had the sweetest charms, and we understood them better when we got them in our arms. We fired our guns, and the British kept not okay. There wasn't fired many as there was a while ago. We fired once more, and they commenced to run on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. The guide who brung the guide who brung the British from the sea came a-limping into camp just as sick as he could be. He said the dying words of Colonel Pakenham was, "You better quit your fooling with your cousin Uncle Sam? With your cousin Uncle Sam. Well, we'll march back home, but we'll never be content until we make Old Hickory the people's president. And every time we think about the bacon and the beans, we'll think about the fun we had way down in New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept it coming. There wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they commenced to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Anyway, so Colonel Pakenham died, and they wanted to make Old Hickory the people's president. Wasn't he a great, great warrior? All right. Have a good day.